Alrighty, I think we've got this figured out by now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of the Fast Pass podcast, where one, it's not a podcast at all, two, it's not scripted, and three, who knows? This is going on the internet, so who knows what's going to actually happen? There's absolutely no plans for any part of this podcast, live web chat, or whatever. Basically, here's the plan. Normally do a podcast on Disney theme park news. Obviously, that's not going to happen for a little while because I keep, mostly on the topics of Disney theme park news. So go back, check out the other podcasts and so forth if you're interested. Let me know what you think. I do this purely for the sake of being fun. So what I want to get into here, if I can figure out how to make this work, which I think I do. I just hit that button and boom. All right. Hopefully here in just a second. There we go. All right, so thought it'd be pretty interesting to do this. Don't know if other people on the internet have done it. If they have, great. If not, hey, this is the way I'm going to do it. But I thought, let's go explore through the Disney theme parks through old Google Earth here. The quality of this production is going to be very low, folks. And second of all, for those of you tuning in live or whether you be tuning in after the fact, be sure to drop comments. Let me know what you think or, ways to improve it. This is the first time ever going live on my own personally. Usually I've done this for other people, but for me to do it live in my own home studio and so forth, like I said, no real script here, but I thought, let's explore Google Earth. And another quick caveat, if you hear my voice cutting in and out, I'm kind of working through a vocal thing right now. I think I blew out my voice box, but that's a whole different story. So if you hear me stop and pause for a drink, that's what happened. So I figured let's join in with this YouTube thing during this whole COVID-19 crisis and so forth. I'm hoping that everyone's doing well out there and hey, we're all in this together. So at any rate, so here we are, we're in Google Earth. This is the desktop version. This is Google Earth Pro is what they call it. So if you go into Google Maps, you're probably going to not be able to do what I'm doing here. But what's pretty neat here about Google Maps, or Google Earth Pro, I should say, is that we have this handy button up here that allows us to go back in time through satellite imagery. So right now, that's what it looked like in the 30s. And now today. So wow. But where we're going to go with this? Let's go exploring, shall we? The plan for this podcast, my goodness, this is going to take a little bit of getting used to. The plan for this is to go for about a half an hour, 45 minutes here. But the plan is ultimately at the end of this is to join this, make this a weekly thing possibly, and have it where everyone comes and joins in and chats and maybe provides some feedback, because I'm in no way, shape, or form an official Disney podcast or producer or anything like that. I'm just doing this for sheer fact of entertainment. So But yeah, so let's go ahead and start exploring here. So, like I said, the idea is to join in, correct me if I'm wrong. I know the internet loves to do that. Let's see here. Before we get, oh dear, this is not what I wanted to do. Sorry, got to go off the screen here, cancel placing that. What I'm trying to do is remove all of these little symbols, which doesn't take a whole lot of work to do. Just got to make sure I click the right spot. All right, here we are. Welcome to the Walt Disney World Resort. Pretty much all of this land here that you see up here is Magic Kingdom parking lot, Grand Floridian, Polynesian, Contemporary, Wilderness Lodge, Fort Wilderness Campgrounds. The old Stoleport is right here. Epcot Resort Hotels, Hollywood Studios, or MGM for those of you old school folks out there. Here is Coronado Springs Resort, Blizzard Beach. All the way over here is Disney Springs, downtown Disney, or Disney Village. Saratoga Springs is right here. My apologies if you can't keep it with my mouse. I'll try to. There we go. There's where my mouse is. Now we're moving it down here. ESPN, Wide World of Sports, the All Star Resorts, Animal Kingdom Lodge, and Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village. So let's go ahead and start from above here. Let's go back to 1984. So this is satellite imagery from December of 1984. Yes. So things look a little bit different. Actually, I see one more thing I need to fix. Get rid of 3D buildings. There we go. The idea is to make this more polished in the future, but here we go. This is 1984, and I'm going to zoom in as far as I can go, but as you get in, the image quality degrades significantly. So I'm going to stay out to where we can actually see. So 1984. Disney World was a whole 13 years old at this time. And Epcot had just turned 2, opening in October 1st of 1982. This is December of 1984. So, what can we see here? First off, Disney Village is right here. Obviously, Magic Kingdom parking lot. Magic Kingdom, we really can't really see a whole lot, but you notice how there's this blank space here? That's because Grand Floridian was not there at that time. Coronado. Good Lord. Contemporary was there. Polynesian was there. Parking lot was there. But ironically, whenever we get up to the present day, we'll notice that this spot here actually looks very similar to how it does here in 1984 because there was no Walt Disney World Speedway. Like I said, Epcot had just been, completed within about, 2 years. So there's no Epcot resorts. I think you can kind of see here what I'm thinking is the beginnings of the project for that. Just judging by this, I mean, it could be artifacts from the pictures, but that could be that. But yeah, you see a lot of waterways, undeveloped areas. Disney Village here is pretty much non-existent. I mean, it's existent, but it's not what it is today. No Typhoon Lagoon or anything like that. So, and the small little area of Celebration was kind of quiet too. No Animal Kingdom, although you can kind of see here, if you watch this area right here, it'll slowly develop into Animal Kingdom. It's interesting to see how past, how things were already zoned and so forth, and how they kind of had plans for things. It's just kind of neat. Discovery Island is still there. River Country, I believe, still in action, obviously, at this time. So let's go ahead and spring ahead here to 1985. So this is now 1 year later. I'm starting to think that maybe I was a little off here on when this was developed here. Over here, I know the dates and times, and for future, if I do this in the future, if this turns out to be something popular that people like listening to, then or watching and being entertained by, I will definitely become more scripted with this. Like I said, just totally doing this just for the fun of it, just for something to do. something interesting to do here on a Saturday evening. It's currently 7 o'clock here on the East Coast of the United States. So, anyways, so yeah. So we don't really see a whole lot more development. At least I don't see anything. I mean, in the future, I hope we can bounce back and forth. Let's see. Let's go to 1986. All right. So we do see well, no, it just gets crisp. The picture just gets better. All right. 1986. We're starting to get a little bit better image quality here. But not great. Not terribly great. Everything looks great from up here. Over here, by the way, is MCO, uh, Orlando International Airport. That is over here to the east. But yeah, so we'll go ahead back over here now, readjust my microphone, and yeah, here we go. So January 1st, 1990, we go from color to black and white over here. But no, more importantly, that's just an artifact. These pictures are kind of all put together interestingly. So this is really high resolution that they have over here, but that's not important right now. That's not what we're focusing on. What we can see here is it is 1990. And what's very significant about 1990, and this changes based on your altitude too. So if you go in and you start playing around, oh, now we're okay. So we really jumped ahead. All right. So whenever, depending on your height, it gives you different images. So 1986. So we jumped ahead. We ruined the surprise. No, just kidding. I'm very sarcastic as well. So my apologies for my dry humor and sarcasm ahead of time, as well as my voice giving in and out. So we're gonna try and do this as long as we can. Sorry, enough rambling on that. Get on with it. I know that's what you're yelling. All right, so 1986. You can kind of see here where we're getting, you can kind of see the outlines of some different roads and so forth. Uh, what's interesting here is if you look at a map, and maybe in a later episode we'll cover this, this road right here, which I know that depending on the screen, you can't really see my cursor that well. But this is called Woodpecker Lane, I believe. If I'm, it's Woodpecker something, road, lane, street. I'm pretty sure it's lane. The reason why is because whenever they were building the Epcot parking lot, now this is the story, or this is the way that I've heard it, and it makes sense to me, was that the parking lot was actually supposed to come a little ways more over. But whenever they were building, they had to stop right here because they found this endangered species of woodpecker living in these woods. Whether or not they're still living there today, I'm not a zoologist, and nor do I study birds or anything like that. So I'm not entirely sure on that, but they decided to name it Woodpecker Lane. So there's a little bit of history for you. Also, maybe in a future time we do this fun thing about this little parking lot over here as well. So, anyways, zoom back out here, see where we're at. All right, so 1986. We can see the Grand Floridian starting to take shape. All right, here we go. 1987. We see some development happening. Old Key West is starting to become developed. The Disney's MGM Studios, or MGM, depending on how you want to say it, was starting to get developed. And that's about it. Although down here, you can kind of see this starting to kind of take a little bit of shape for ESPN Wild World of Sports, but we're not quite to that point just yet. 1988, things are starting to take a little bit more shape. Not much changed up here, although Grand Floridian is now existing up here. Golf courses still look good. 1990. Okay, so now we're back into this. So, 1990. At this point, MGM should be open. I believe it was 1989 that opened, coinciding with just up the street being Universal, but we'll cover that in a later episode. I'm going to stick with what I know for the time being. And now here we are December of 1990. So things have kind of taken a little bit of shape here within the last year. Um, so I'm sure there's keyboard shortcuts to this, but here we are. So we see a few things changing here. I should probably put some background music to this too. Again, this is all live, not scripted, just doing my thing. So we see that the Caribbean Beach Resort has taken shape. And we are starting to see the beginnings of the Epcot resorts. We start to see the beginnings of Typhoon Lagoon. And yeah, so let's continue on. Yeah, there we go. Everything kind of becomes a little bit crispier there. December of 1991. I don't know why all these images are from December. I'm not quite following that, but hey, whatever. So we start to see this little patch of land here develop, and I don't know what this is. It's just a bunch of trails. So I don't know if it was an exploratory, like they were doing some land zoning or what the deal is, but you'll see this just kind of stays this weird different patch. By the way, Lake Bambi here off to your right. But yeah, so we can kind of see the Epcot resorts have taken shape. The Swan and Dolphin have taken shape. Caribbean Beach is in there. So Wide World of Sports is not taken over yet. Downtown Disney has kind of expanded a little bit. Typhoon Lagoon is in place. But yeah, we still don't have any westward expansion at this time. Old Key West, I think, is taking shape, if not already built. All right. December of 92. We may jump ahead here a little bit just to get on with it. 94. Not a whole lot there. 95. Okay, so now here we go. Crispy high resolution. All right, finally. All right, so at this altitude, it changes drastically. Can we go back just a little bit? So we start to see. Oh, don't jump too far ahead. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into this. So at this time in 1995, the Speedway is not here yet. And we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more exploring now because we actually can zoom in and see things. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is still existent over at Magic Kingdom. The bus loop is still small. Contemporary still has both wings as well as the main building. It will be another 14 years until the Bay Lake Tower gets built. Stoleport is actually marked that it's not a runway, so it still has the markings on it this time. So I want to believe before that they still had markings and so forth, but as you can see, there's some vehicles and so forth, which they now use it as storage anyway. So we got the campground. I don't really know a whole lot of history as far as if this changed all that much. I know they added some cabins and so forth. I know that Wilderness Lodge does some expansion, but during this time, it's basically the heyday of River Country and the heyday of Discovery Island. And you can see all the boats. Everyone's having a great time out on the water. I think at this time, the wave machine was shut off on the island here. There used to be wave machine, but it was eroding the beach. So they stopped that. Yeah. So Ticket and Transportation Center still looks pretty much the way it does now. God, I would think this was the Hess station, I believe, at one time, and then you got your Grove of Trees here. I want to believe. I don't know the exact history of that, but that's why we're doing this. Why I want to have people find this and then tune in. Planning to do this live. I'd like to do it every week. Definitely let me know if there's a particular time that works. I'm new to this whole YouTube live streaming in this capacity. So if there's a time that works better, let me know. Drop me a comment. I'll be sure to read them eventually and get back to you. And be sure to reach out to me, fastpasspodcasting@gmail.com, and follow me over on Twitter @thefastpass. Okay, so we'll go ahead and hop on down the monorail line here. As you can see, again, this kind of just gets weird. It's just a weird little strip or plot there. Let's see here. So here we are. We are now in Epcot. World Showcase is, yep, there's World Showcase. I'm just trying to think here. All right, so we're looking at hotels. We got Yacht and Beach Club, but the boardwalk is just starting to get built. You can just see it starting to take shape. So the boardwalk came a lot further after. A lot of people think like about Disney history. They think that the Grand Floridian was the like it's the flagship, and it may be, but they think also that the it was there from the beginning, and it actually was not. It came several years after. Same deal with the boardwalk. The boardwalk is actually on the same page. Fight me if you want, but the boardwalk is actually a four diamond, AAA four diamond resort hotel, and it is every bit as nice, if not nicer, in my opinion, than the Grand Floridian. But that's my opinion. It's the internet, and I've put it out there. I'm prepared to live with the consequences of what what I've said. So, but at any rate, so Swan and Dolphin were built. That's all leased, 99-year contract land. And over here where these tennis courts are, that's a lot of tennis courts. Must have been a lot of tennis playing in the 95 range, 90s, 80s, 90s, whatever. But this is where the Cove is getting built currently. If you're staying up to date, the Cove, the Swan Dolphin, and the Cove is going to go right on this little plot of land here. So yeah, I got the Swan and Dolphin, and this little road here actually connects to the fire department. This is the fire department facilities here. I believe this building changes slightly too, but it connects over here to the backstage area of World Showcase. Also, fun fact: if you walk over to Epcot and you walk across this bridge, you're walking across the bridge with water with that's actually a bridge that goes over a roadway. So if you ever go to Swan Dolphin Yacht Beach Club or whatever and you go down, you're actually going under the waterway. And there's two of these waterways at Disney. There's that one there, and we'll just take a quick detour here from the field trip. The other one is right here. The roadway goes under and the boats go over. So if you're ever on a bus going to Magic Kingdom, buses will come up here and they swing in and they do their thing and come back out. But whenever you go down, whenever you see the Contemporary, you'll see the Contemporary. It's a beautiful sight. You actually dip down and go under. So, pretty neat little bit of history there for you, or a little bit of trivia for you, should say. Excuse me. So, anyway, back over here, we got the Caribbean Beach Resort. This is cast services that supports the Caribbean Beach. This little plot of land right here, people might be a little interested to know. This was a short-lived show for Epcot, and this is where ultralights would land and take off. And it's actually a runway. It's a circle. Ultralights are very small tricycle-shaped aircraft. Look them up. Basically, a kite with a motor, and by motor I mean a fan. That's basically what it is. But the reason why it's being a circle is because they take off and land in such a short distance that they can take off and land in this range. Now, I'm not going to say they can like take off, land, take off, but like basically whichever way the wind's blowing is the way they'll take off, and then they'll land. So they can, they can land just at any direction here. So this is the plot of land that is actually on the left side. This is now Disney's Art of Animation, and on the right is Pop Century. Now, we'll get into that bit of history then here in a bit, but that's what that is. Over here at MGM, still rocking and rolling away. This is whenever it was a working set. Now, I don't know at this point in time how much of it was still truly a working set, but you can see the trams going in the Catastrophe Canyon, going down the streets here where they filmed. I never got to see this. Whenever it was really in its heyday, apparently. But you got your shops and all the stuff, and people working and making TV show stuff and all that good stuff. So there is that. Over here is Blizzard Beach. It was there in 95. And at this time, River Country, sorry, we're going to bounce back and forth. River Country was still actually open at this time. So at one time there was 3 water parks running at Disney World. So pretty interesting to know that as well. To those of you that stuck with me this far, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. To those of you skipping through, hey, I don't blame you either. Disney's Wide World of Sports, or ESPN Wide World of Sports complex, is still not here just yet, even in the 90s. But yeah, so Blizzard Beach, we got the All-Star Resorts. Yeah. But the third one has not been built just yet. So, and this plot of land here becomes Animal Kingdom. And we still do not have Coronado Springs. So looking here, you can kind of see the outline. If you're following my cursor, I'll make my cursor really big here, and boom, right here. So this spot right in here, if you want, look, this will eventually become Coronado Springs. Lago Dorado. It's funny because the lake starts off as a square and then it becomes this massive thing. So found that that's pretty interesting. What do we? Okay, that's okay. That'll probably become the entrance someday. So a little bit of foreshadowing or that one. I forget. Anyway, we'll find out soon enough, folks. But yeah, so there's that. Yeah, Hourglass Lake as well. Go ahead and zoom back in. Where are we going? I'm going all the way over here to downtown Disney. Look at all the parking lot. But yeah, the parking lot's still there. The Saratoga Springs is actually just getting built. This was Disney Village, I believe, at one time, before. And basically, my understanding was if you were a business person or whatever, you would actually come and you could stay in one of these properties here, or one of these buildings, and you would learn the Disney way, kind of like a Disney University kind of a thing. Um, that was my understanding of it. And then basically they built Saratoga Springs, took it over, and all these became hotels. Um, but yeah, so this time I'm pretty sure it was still that, but they were in the process of building the main kind of building area. Saratoga Springs is actually quite large to a certain extent. It's also kind of confusing to drive around from my experience, but nice resort. I like it. I like it a lot. If you want my opinions on resorts, hey, let me know. But at any rate, we'll keep wandering around here since we're in this spot, and we're actually coming up now on how long have we been doing this now? Oh, almost a half an hour. So we might go for another 10 minutes, and we might turn this into a 2-part deal here. Or you can download Google Earth and go through it yourself. So I'll try to remember what we all talked about here. But at any rate, Hotel Plaza Boulevard, you got the Hilton, Doubletree, and all that. It's here. Yay. Casting is here. Before we go too far up, this building right here that we're zooming in on, this building right here, that building is the preview center. It's now the Amateur Athletic Union building. I have a few pictures on it here somewhere. But it's there now, and it's still there till this day. If you listen to one of the old podcasts that I had a few episodes ago, kind of briefly mentioned about it, how it was the welcome center. Basically, whenever Disney World was getting built, you'd come down, get off the interstate, come over here, and they would just tell you all about what was going on. I believe Disneyland, whenever Disneyland was getting built in the 50s, it was actually a house. This one here, it kind of has that South Seas vibe to it, kind of matches with the Polynesian. Little building, you'll drive right by it, have no clue that, the amount of history there. But yep, it was the first official attraction at the Walt Disney World Resort. So, alrighty, what else do we have here? Team Disney with the administrative building is there, and Typhoon Lagoon is here, wave pool and all. So yeah, there's a lot to see here, more so because it's definitely more high resolution. Again, Animal Kingdom is not built just yet, but the tree farm is here. These are the tree farms. Whenever for those of you really Disneyfied people that know a few things about it, will know that if a 40-year-old tree falls, they can replace it with a 40-year-old tree. or one close to it for those of you that really know how Disney works. But yeah, so this is the tree farm. It's still there to this day, actually. Um, and here is the water sewage treatment plant area. We'll get to this little spot here. This has a little significance here coming up in the present day. And yeah, so we'll just yeah, we'll keep on going here. We may jump ahead one more spot real quick. But I want to wrap this up. I don't like having too long of a yeah, keep calling it a podcast. We're doing it live on YouTube now. I don't want to have too long of a podcast or of a YouTube video thing because I know that some people will watch this in the future, and I don't want to waste your time with me going and all. So hopefully, if you come across this week, definitely let me know what you think. Let me know. Really appreciate any kind of positive criticism. Um, Telling me that this is a waste of time and there's other people who do it better. I know I'm doing it just for the fun of it and just something for me to do and provide my little bit of insight. I know that we're all deeply saddened that the parks are closed. Different people have different, feelings and so forth. I did work for the company for a while, so I feel for all you guys down there that are living with this. And everyone will get through it. Actually, a week from now, was supposed to be down there. I was actually supposed to be in Florida and so forth. But yeah, unfortunately, that has gotten postponed, most likely canceled, at least for the foreseeable future. But we'll see whenever the parks get reopened up here and things start getting back to normal, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, no, like I said, I really appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Like I said, I run a very small podcast. Um, Usually do Disney theme park news once a week. For those of you that followed me over here that heard me talking about it now for 2 or 3 weeks, welcome. It's finally happened. But yeah, no, but yeah, I like I said, I do a podcast. It's usually all pure Disney news. Go back and listen to them if you're interested. Trust me, it's just as exciting. My apologies here for my sarcasm and lack of energy right now. Like normally used to having a script, and also my voices just keeps going in and out. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I'm pretty sure I've blown out my voice box in some capacity. So I'm really hoping I can do this next week. But I kind of thought, let me add my entertainment value and so forth. I'm like I said, a little dry, but I'm going to give it to you straight, and I'm going to give it to you. If I don't know for sure, I'm going to let you know because there are a lot of Disney rumors, like the castle turrets will collapse whenever there is a hurricane, or they can, go down or whatever. No, they cannot. They are permanently built there. People are like, oh, but I saw one time where there was a video or something on the internet of the turrets changing. Well, that's just really good CGI. So, but if there's something I'm not entirely sure about, I'm definitely gonna let you know. I just don't like adding to the rumors and so forth. So, but yeah, no, like I said, I hope that you've enjoyed this. I really hope we turn this into a, more of a chatting thing. I would like to learn more about Disney theme parks, but also I'm planning to go wander around other places. I want to, explore around. This is usually what I do just in my spare time, or if I'm at my job where I'm, got a few minutes here or there where not a whole lot going on. I like to jump on and explore around with this and go back in time and just kind of see what once was and what's going to change. And, even though I may not have been at that spot that time, I can do that. So, but yeah, no, like I said, I'm going to keep this short. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here in a few more minutes here. But yeah, like I said, appreciate anyone who comes across this, whether it be this week or a month from now. I hope that it provides some sort of entertainment for you. Um, and that, it's purely entertainment. Like I said, it's a crazy time to be alive, and I'm just going to do my best to provide entertainment to those that want to join in and those that don't. And like I said, let me comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to do, schedules change. I'd like to do this on Saturday nights or Friday nights even. Maybe throughout the weekend it gets a little crazy, but I like to do it, right around this time. But hey, if there's a time that works better, hey, I'm willing to give everything a shot. I'm willing to try anything once. So, but yeah, with that being said, I guess I'll just go ahead and wrap this up. I'll end the stream here for the first time ever going live. Hopefully next time a little bit more polished, a little bit more prepared. But at any rate, thank you again for tuning into this very special episode of the Fast Pass podcast. And I, hope to see you all again real soon. And we're in this together. Stay safe, be well, and that's all I got. Yeah, that's it for now. So I appreciate it all. Thank you again.